Music matters. Darin Steele, man, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing good. I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Of course, bro. Appreciate you having me.
Of course, yeah. This is a good one. I wanted to get this one in. I'm happy that we finally found a date that worked and everything.
I know it's been a long time coming. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
We got it. We here now.
And you had a long day, huh?
Oh yeah, bro. It's every day is a long day though.
Working?
You know what I mean? Yeah, working and just just dealing with everyday life shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, it's everyday shit to me.
And I mean, when you're trying to balance it with music, that makes it all that much the harder.
Yeah, it makes it harder, but it kind of.
I tilt this mic up like this.
Yeah, do what you
show.
gotta do.
Thank you.
It makes it kind of fun though too, like just watching your progress wherever you're at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Do you think like working a 9 to 5, like a regular job, does that keep you more motivated to like do music? Because you know what I mean. Like when you're there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
I bet.
Like, fuck this dumbass shit. But at the same time, it's kind of like cool because like for me, I'm kind of introverted in a sense. Like I don't like talking to a bunch of people. So at work, I have to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's like everyday people.
You said you sell phones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I work for Verizon.
Yeah.
So
you got to do a lot of like marketing and stuff.
Yeah, and then I got to do like a lot of just personal selling. So I got to every day I'm learning to sell myself even more. You know?
Yeah, that's actually like a strangely like translatable thing. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt because I've served tables like forever. And it's pretty funny. Like I used to like go up to tables and almost like pretend like I was interviewing them. You know what I mean? Like go up to them like, oh, like what's your name,
that's
whatever.
What it is though. I mean, when you're getting to know people, you are interviewing them in a small sense. Like you got to get to know them. Like for me, selling shit, I gotta get to know you in like a 2-minute time span before I really start opening up, like showing you what the phones are, so I really know why you're in there.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. It's funny. Like since I've started interviewing people, like. I never really thought of small talk or like conversations like that before, like as an interview. Right. But it's like now that thought comes to my head all the time. Like I'll be talking to somebody and without even realizing it, I'll be like asking them questions about their life, like all this shit. And I think that comes from just like interviewing so many people. I don't even consciously do it. It just happens now. It's funny.
That's so funny. Yeah, over time, like I don't know, like I've also kind of picky on people that I really like open up to. So
more introverted?
Yeah, like so for example, like people at my job, like some people I'll be a little more just a salesman to, and then some people I'll just be me. Like I'm just there, like just a regular person. You're gonna get to know me in that scenario. So
that is a super weird balance because it's like on one side there is like almost like what you said, like those are two different people. You know what I mean? Like there's like Darin, the personal human, and then there's like Darin, the salesman.
Exactly.
Like those are two different people. I felt the same way when I was serving tables. It's like it's kind of weird. Like you go on, you kind of put up this act like, oh, like how are you guys? Like,
bro, it's just a fucking puppet show, bro.
No, that's literally what it is.
You gotta just follow what the strings tell you to do, man.
Yeah. For real. It's kind of in a lot of ways, what's kind of messed up about it, I feel like, is it teaches you to almost like be fake happy. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Cause like cause like I make way more money at work whenever I'm talking to a table if I'm like upbeat and positive and happy. But sometimes you come to work and you're in a shitty mood. You know what I mean?
But that shit doesn't matter. You gotta leave all that shit outside of work.
Yeah, or else you won't make money.
Exactly.
I learned that with interviewing people pretty quickly too. It's like I feel like for the first time, or not the first time, but I mean like the first like 20 episodes or whatever, I tried like pretty hard and like every single interview to be like super upbeat, super positive, super like whatever. And then I realized I'm like, man, if I do these every day, like that's not always gonna be what my mood is. Some days I'm just gonna want to have like a more relaxed conversation, like I'm gonna be tired or whatever. But it's like I feel like it's so easy to see through when you put up like that act. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I mean, like as a people like I like to read people, so like I'll people watching like shit like that. Like I can hella tell when people are just in a real bad mood and they're just putting up the front for that shit. Like, cause I get like that, like where I'm really in a terrible ass mood, but like I'm just like yeah. You know, and this phone is for this and shit.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, really, I feel like shit.
Are you one of those kids that like, because this was me, I always ask people this, but were you one of those kids like the second you turned 16, you had a job and you never stopped?
Fuck no.
Really?
Fuck no. But as soon as I fucking left home and was on my own, I had a job. So when I was 18, bro, by the time I was like 18... not even. I had probably like 2 jobs already. You
say you're 26?
Yeah.
How long have you lived on your own?
Shit. I mean, I moved out a month after I graduated. You know what I'm saying? But some unfortunate stuff happened, and I had to move back in with family. So,
Yeah, I mean that happens, bro.
I live at home now, so
There's not. I mean, it's not something to be ashamed about.
oh yeah, nah, bro. Honestly, like sometimes I have those feelings like I should be doing more, but it's like, why? I'm really pursuing some shit. If I wasn't pursuing music, my life would be completely different. Because like where my money would go to would be somewhere totally different. Like I wouldn't even be doing this, obviously.
Yeah.
So everything will be completely different for me in that sense. So
I think about that all the time. Like a lot of the times I'll think like, what if I just like tomorrow I just like was like, oh fuck this whole above the bridge thing, like I'm just gonna be done. Like I'm just gonna stop. But it's like the idea of like quitting, it kills me.
Yeah, for one, I
can't even imagine.
I can't be a quitter. I just went this far to do this shit. Like there's no way I'm about to stop. Like kind of angle my life to where this is all I can do in a sense. You know what I mean? But to be at the level that I really want to be mentally, like I want to be in a higher stature than what I've grown up to be, what people I know have grown up to be. So I need to make sure that this shit works out, and just working my 9 to 5 or doing whatever is gonna only keep me limited. You know what I'm saying? And just the thought of quitting is just like, I'm not about to give up on life, bro. Like,
yeah.
To me, that's giving up on life. Like if I'm not gonna pursue the shit that I love, then. And obviously, to me, I feel like you love this shit, or you wouldn't be bringing all this equipment over.
Thank you. Yeah. No, but I'm the same way. There's like one of my favorite movies ever. It's called Whiplash, and it's about like a jazz drummer. Okay. And there's this quote in it where this kid's sitting at his like dinner table with like his family, and they're arguing about like just like they're saying like, oh, like there's no career in music, you're not gonna make money in it, whatever. And then the kid, I think it's Charlie Parker who he brings up, who was a jazz drummer, and the guy was like, oh, Charlie Parker was 50 years old before he ever made anything big. And his dad's like, but Charlie Parker died at 60 drunk. And he was like, he died at 60 drunk and miserable in a hotel room. And then this always sticks with me, this quote. The kid looks at him and he goes, I'd rather die drunk, 60 and unhappy in a hotel room and have people at a dinner table talk about me than die happy, rich at 90 and have nobody remember who I was. I think about that quote all the time.
That's some real shit. I like that. I feel that.
Yeah.
I used to have like this, just bringing up like dying and death and just bringing up your art and shit. Like I used to have a fascination with the 27 Club. Hella.
Really?
Like crazy. Like Kurt Cobain's one of my favorite people ever. Just like not like the music too, but just who he was. I feel like I relate to him hella. So it's like, yeah, like just the whole thing. And then Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, fucking Jim Morrison. Like they're all legends and then what they did, but they all died at a super young age in their prime. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how the new age rappers are dying too. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like I can
like
see
X,
that. Yeah.
Like Triple X, bro, died at his fucking height.
He was, how old was he when he died? He was 20. He was like 24 or 22.
I don't even think he was that old. I think it was like 22.
That's
maybe,
so
20,
crazy, man.
21, 22.
Yeah, and Juice died at 22.
Yeah,
I think.
Super young, bro.
Mac was 20. I think Mac was 27.
Yeah, 20. I actually think he was 28.
28, 27,
I think he passed the 27 shit. But yeah, bro, a lot of people are dying like at a super, super pivotal point in their careers, if you notice. And that's like, I don't know, that kind of used to be my fascination with the 27 Club. Obviously, it's changed over the years now because so many legends have died earlier than that. You know what I mean? But
it's almost kind of scary to think about it because it's like, what do they all have in common? It's exactly what you said. They're at the peak of their career. Exactly. So if it's like, if getting to that point and getting to be that successful in this industry brings that much danger to you or that much misery to you, to where like these people are literally dying at the exact same age, that's a pretty scary thing. It almost like makes you, Have you ever thought about like, oh, like maybe I don't want to get to that point, get that big?
No.
Yeah.
No. I'd say that when I start getting sued is when I made it. So.
You said when you start getting sued?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But if shit happens, bro.
Yeah.
I just the same way like dude felt, bro. I'd rather die at the peak of my career than die getting shot somewhere.
No, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Just be some forgotten, just another person, like whatever.
That's the exact same way I feel. Like kind of, I don't know, like I've always kind of been scared of the thought of like being in a crowd of people and like my existence in that crowd of people means nothing. Like that's
being
always
another face in the crowd.
Exactly. Yeah. Like my life having no meaning on this planet. You know what I mean? Like I've always said like I want this planet to be like changed in some regard because of the reason I was here.
Because of you, yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Or at least be written in history somewhere for some reason, like something serious, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean that's how, and I don't know. It's interesting because like when I think about things like politics or whatever, and it's like you can get really like, you can change a lot with something like that, but it's also like, I feel like I'm not the kind of person who could ever get in that world. I'm more the person who I feel like wants to change it with art, wants to change it with music. You know what I mean? Instead of like action in regards to like politics and things like that, because I often feel like that's temporary. I feel like music and spreading music and working in music is something that just lives forever. Like it never dies.
I wouldn't say it's like the worst thing in the world, but I think politics is kind of bullshit in the sense of like it just pits us against each other like gangs does. And so it's like you just got one person just fucking fighting this side and then one person fighting this side, and it's like, what the fuck? Conservatives calling liberals all this other shit, liberals calling conservatives all this other shit. It's just like gangs, Bloods, and Crips. It's like the same shit to me. Like,
whoa,
Democrat color is red, or no, blue and fucking Republicans is red. Like, bro, they're just pitting us.
It's literally a gang.
It's the same shit. You know what I mean? But like, say for example, I think like when rappers get into politics and they start bringing in like urban issues and making it like a known, like, these things is what's going on in our communities. Like, I think that's super important. However, shit that like Kodak Black or like Young Dolph gave away his Lambo. For no reason. He just gave it away. He changed that girl's life forever, regardless. Their family. They sold that shit in 6 months, 300,000 up. You know how much that changes people's lives?
That changes your life. That's everything.
Like, that's more than just, I passed this law so niggas won't get shot. I don't mean it like that. Sorry. But like, it's for real. Like, yeah, that's going to not really change much. The law is not going to change racism at the end of the day. Or any of, like, I don't care about what nobody's saying. People are still going to be racist, even if the law says you can't be. Like,
I mean, that's kind of a depressing thought, though, man, because it's like, I do feel like... No,
call me bleak.
No. I mean, it's an interesting thought, though, because it's like, I guess when you look at things like racism and discrimination and hate, it's like, what are these things? Where do they come from? And it's like, I feel like they're taught. But I do feel like human nature also like has that in them. I feel like every human
survival of the fittest, bro.
Literally, it's like tribes. Exactly what you're talking about. I feel like every human, and I actually was thinking about this the other day. I was having a conversation with my friend about it. It's really weird that like I feel like every human has like innate evil in them. It has to be unlocked by something, like be it trauma, be it example, but I feel like there's a certain amount of evil within everybody. And that's kind of scary, because it's like...
I feel like everybody has dark thoughts, but life is yin and yang, bro. Like, at the end of the day, no matter how good something is, I guarantee there's something bad inside of it. Somebody had to suffer for this shit to happen. But as bad as something may seem, I bet you somebody's benefiting from it. Doesn't mean they're benefiting in necessarily a good way, but there's still some good out of it. You know?
Yeah, everything's a balance. It's interesting. I always try to like, I feel like this question comes up a lot, but it's like, do you think people? Well, let me ask you this: do you think people are like? Do you think people can be born evil, or do you think like it can only be taught?
Damn, that's a crazy question, because I feel like some shit is genetic. So maybe in your DNA, if you got two evil ass parents, maybe. But at the same time, nah, because I don't think. I mean, you're right. Racism is taught.
I don't think anybody's born racist. You know what I mean?
Nah, but it's just the household that you grow up in, or the neighborhood you grow up in too.
That too, yeah.
For example, like if you're black and you only grow up in the ghetto and you never left the ghetto, you probably don't like white people. It's just, that's just what it is. It's just psychological thing.
And vice versa.
Is that they've been putting us down for years. Like, okay, so what am I supposed to think about the cool white boy that's down the street that skates? Oh, he's racist. But that's just psychological shit, because we've been taught that from our parents or our uncles or our grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Because of the shit that they've been through. But we've never branched out of our neighborhoods or our areas at all. But it's the same, like in the white community, bro. They be in the same small areas and never met any type of minority. Never seen an Asian
for
person,
sure,
never seen
dude.
a Mexican person, never seen a black person before. Never even had a real conversation with them. Never been in class with one. Still to this day.
100%.
Like, you know, they just grow up that way, and then they don't realize, like, oh, damn, I am racist. It's just how I was taught. I just didn't know this was racist.
Because they thought it was normal.
Exactly.
They didn't think there was even like a word to quantify. They just like, this is just the way it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always said, like, when I have kids, like like I feel very lucky. For example, like I grew up in like going to schools that were like very diverse. Like I feel like like if my school had like my high school anyway, there were like a lot of white kids, a lot of black kids. There were a lot of like Mexican kids, Asian kids. Right. It was like there were all these different cultures, and I think it's because I went to a charter school. Because I went to Clayton Valley. So you had like kids from like Clayton, where a lot of those kids were like white. Then you had kids from like Pittsburgh, and you had kids from like Antioch. It was like a big melting pot of a lot of different places. So it was cool to kind of go to school in that environment. But it made me think a lot about like how I want to raise my kids. Right. And it's like I really do want to give my kids an experience where they're like surrounded by a bunch of different kids of all ages and all different nationalities. Because then I feel like that's how you learn that people are people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think like for me, I've been going to nothing but public schools my whole life. Like,
me too.
You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like if I got hella famous, I wouldn't put my kid in private school. Like, why would I put my kid in private school? To keep them protected from what?
Yeah.
All the Catholic school people I know is doing crazier shit than I was doing in high school.
You're right, yeah.
So it's like, and then so many of the shelter kids that I know, by the time they got to college, they ended up dropping out or doing some crazy shit because they never really experienced life. That's you know what I'm saying. People getting DUIs and shit because they didn't even know how to drink by the time they got to college. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tries to drink some shit when they're underage and shit, but it's like, do you know what you're getting yourself into? You know what I'm saying? So some of the sheltered shit to me is kind of too scary to just put your kid back out in the real world. Yeah, you're not gonna be there all the time, bro.
I talk about that a lot, actually. Like, kids that, like, I know so many kids that were sheltered their entire childhood. Their parents had a grip on them, wouldn't let them do anything. Right. And it's like, because of that, they get 1 ounce of freedom when they go to college and they go fucking berserk and they become alcoholics.
Yes, bro. Dude, alcohol, they start doing psychedelics or some shit. Like, bro, they just
crazy.
Get into the shit that they hear about wherever, from their music, from what they see on TV, whatever. They just dive into that shit.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's fucked up. You know?
I think it's kind of like a warning sign to kind of treat your kids with like a little bit of freedom. You know what I mean? I don't think you can shelter your kids from everything. It's also impossible. Like, it's also a fleeting effort. Like, you're never gonna do it. You can try, but it's like you're never gonna be able to keep your kid from like.
Bro, you gotta let your kid go on the play dates. You gotta let your kids go spend the night at his friend's house. You gotta let people come over and spend the night at your house. Like, you have to like open up. Let the kid go to the dance, man.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious to where you need to keep your kid that sheltered. But I mean, the world is fucking crazy though. Don't get me wrong. Crazy shit out there.
It's been an interesting experience for me, like interviewing artists, because I feel like the majority of artists that I interview are black, and it's kind of a different experience because I feel like it has opened my eyes to a lot of like things within like different communities and different nationalities of people that I didn't grow up around. Right. And it's been very like enlightening and very like educational for me, because it's like I feel like I'm far more compassionate because of the fact that I get to talk to people every single day that probably grew up in different environments than I did, are from different places, different parts of the Bay Area. I mean, it's interesting though, you know, I feel like all those people I talk to, like, we all do have one thing in common, and it's that we're from the Bay Area. So it's like you have that common link, but you could have grown up in totally two different environments. Right. So it's pretty fascinating to me that like I've really learned to like understand more about the Bay Area and about the kind of people that are from it.
Right. I gotta say this. I'm from SAC. SAC is not the Bay. It's a common debate, and as a SAC representative, I'm not claiming the Bay. But I'm just saying, I'm actually technically from SAC.
I respect that.
My family is from North Oakland, though. That's where we're at right now. Okay. But I do a lot of my stuff out here in the Bay. A lot of people think I'm from Oakland and stuff like that.
I thought you were from Oakland.
Yeah, see, a lot of people think I'm from Oakland.
So you still live in SAC?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I also sleep on this couch right here. Yeah.
Do you work out in SAC or you work down here?
No, I work down here though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So kind of having that split like upbringing, like some in Oakland, some in SAC. It's funny. I feel like a lot of people compare Oakland, or not Oakland, but just compare the Bay to SAC. Yeah. And then they kind of compare and contrast. Like, what's your take on the differences and the similarities between them?
The difference is that we're not around the ocean water. We're around river water. Yeah. It's totally different water. We're a river city. The Bay is the Bay, right? But I feel like the biggest difference is like our cultures are different when it comes to the street life. Like in Sacramento, there's a lot of gang banging. Out here, it's a little bit more like just neighborhood oriented stuff. So it's like that's a little bit different. Also, I feel like people out here are a little ahead of the curve in a sense. But I feel like that's just because the area around here is so fast compared to like Sacramento. Like Sacramento's getting faster now because we got the new arena. And like,
Yeah.
Money's coming in and shit like
Our
that.
whole downtown
More artists
area
are starting to blow up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And things are coming to Sac. But like ultimately, like San Francisco, Oakland has been popping for
ever.
years, you know what I'm saying?
There's been a lot of music recently coming out of Sac. Like it's kind of interesting. I feel like Sac's had like a bit of a resurgence.
Renaissance.
Yeah, definitely a renaissance.
They're calling it their Sac Renaissance.
Are they really?
Yeah.
It's funny though, like even with that though, I have heard a lot more about like the street life and stuff in Sac, like starting to get more and more violent. You know, this was crazy. You know that shooting that happened in Sac a couple like a month or two ago, and right downtown. I was like 2 blocks away from that when that happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I saw Tyler the Creator at the arena, and
oh shit, that was that same night, huh?
Same night.
Oh,
it was
shit.
right
That's
there.
Crazy. I remember when it came. Damn, that was that same night.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. Yeah, bro. So like K Street is like, I wouldn't say the most popping spot for like the nightlife out there, but it's like up there.
That's right downtown, right?
Yeah, there's a couple other sections in downtown that are like, you know, kind of popping, or midtownish area. But like that's like where all the money's really at.
Yeah.
And yeah, for some shit to happen right there is like, honestly, it's a pretty fucking big deal.
Because Sac is huge, right?
Yeah, it's hella spread out.
Yeah.
So it's like what I would say, like from like Richmond to Fremont.
Richmond to Fremont. Jesus Christ. That's so far.
Yeah. But it's like real though. But it damn near is farther than that. It damn near might be like Concord to Fremont. Like Concord, Richmond to Fremont. Like it's because there's top parts of Sac. So there's like Roseville was technically its own city. It's Carmichael and shit.
And like Citrus Heights, right?
That shit's hella far away. Like we're in the South. So the South is like it's like Sac for real. You know what I'm saying? There's different parts of Sac. And even the North is like hella far away from where I'm at. It's like still like a 15-20 minute drive at least.
That's super far apart.
Exactly. So
that's just you're right. It's a lot of land.
So like if I'm going out to Roseville, it's 25 minutes from my house.
Oh, and you're still within like the county.
I don't know if I'm in Sac. I think I might still be Sac County. But like there's so many little cities around, but it's still like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, bro. Sac has so many little cities around it, just like how the Bay Area does.
Yeah.
But it's so spread out. Like I don't know exactly where it stops at out there, but I know like for example after West Sac is yellow.
That's funny because like where we are right now is like kind of a similar example of that, because like it's hard to tell where like Berkeley and Alameda and Oakland all kind of
2
like,
streets over is Berkeley.
Yeah, literally.
Like, literally.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, yeah.
It's funny. It's funny the way that things like they almost try to like section. Did you ever think about like how ridiculous the idea of like section lines in a city even is? It's like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yes, actually, yes, I'm very familiar with that. Actually, it's called redlining.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
A whole song about that on one of my projects.
Really?
Yes, sir.
How'd you get so interested in redlining?
Interested?
well, just like educated on it.
I got arrested for a protest over some redlining.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So you're like pretty like actively educated in that? You like look a lot into that kind of stuff?
I wouldn't say I look a lot into it. I think I was just definitely heavy into activism for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think that protests are a bad thing. I just feel like there's different approaches that we should take to make shit better.
In what ways? Like
investing in our own communities. But that's a tricky topic.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think that like the more and more we fight each other, the harder shit is gonna be regardless. And the more and more we fight other races that want to help us, shit is gonna be harder. So,
I fully agree with you. Yeah. I think
still fuck the police.
Yeah, it's like the entire community of everybody, bro. It's a stronger world when we're together.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? It's a lot easier to be friends with your neighbors than not.
Strength in numbers. It's the Warriors.
100%. Shout out the Dubs.
Shout out to the Dubs. They did that shit.
So yeah, that shit's crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm an honorary Warriors bandwagon. Just so y'all know.
Are you?
Yes.
You're not a Kings fan?
Nah, I'm a Kings fan.
The Kings are so good though.
But it's so hard to be a Kings fan. Oh my god.
Hey, but to be fair though, it was hard to be a Warriors fan for like.
I mean, I've heard,
decades.
Man, but shit, since y'all doing y'all thing, man. I can't do nothing but give it respect. Man. You know what I'm saying? My family's from the Bay. You know what I'm saying? Got a rep.
The Kings remind me, being a Kings fan, I feel like that's probably similar to how I'm an A's fan. Year after year after year, they sell the team, and then they get
somebody hella good,
and then they get and then they get 3 top 5 prospects. Then they're on the Yankees, the Mets, and the Dodgers next year.
Oh my god, yes, exactly.
It's fucking garbage, bro. I hate it.
Bielisa or Bielisa, whatever his name is, was literally one of our damn near starting fucking centers, and this nigga just won a ring on the bench of the Warriors.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
People leave the Kings and just go do great shit. It's crazy. Bro.
And then they're bench players on championship teams.
Yeah, literally. Like, so what?
Yeah.
I got a ring now.
Oh, so like growing up in Sac, when did you like first get interested in music? Like, was there one person specifically who got you into music, or how did you first get interested in making music?
My dad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad. So like my dad used to make music and stuff like that. He had his own MIDI board. He had keyboards, mics, all that shit.
Producer?
He basically did it all. He
Wow.
rap, produced, engineered people. He did all that, but he kind of gave up music. He wasn't that serious into it. But literally from me being in the womb, he would put, headphones on my mom's belly to, like, once I was, like, out of the womb, he would record me. Like, I've heard cassette tapes of me, like, Goo Goo Gaga and
Yeah.
on shit, like, for real, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But obviously I wasn't trying to be no rapper when I was a kid. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up heavy in church, too, so I did, like, church plays, sung in a choir, stuff like that. So music's always been a part of my life, literally since I was a little kid. And I just had a love for music. I used to just listen to hella music, just hella rap music. I used to have to sneak to listen to rap music, but
Really, your parents were into it?
my mom fucked with it. My dad just was a little more on the R&B gospel type. So like he played it a little bit, but not like how my mom would. You know what I mean? So it's like I was just into music in the sense of like I felt like it was like the best way to express. Like I was actually understanding. Like I was hella into Eminem. I don't know why, but I just hella related to like the shit that he was talking about. Just a rebellious ass little kid, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's really how I got into. I used to print out his lyrics, bro.
Eminem?
Yes, and
Wow.
memorize them. Like, and I remember doing this in like 2nd and 3rd grade. I used to have his lyrics printed out, and I would just read over it and just memorize it and listen to the song until I could rap the whole thing. Like, you feel me? And when I was a kid, when I used to have to kill time, I'd like rap songs that I knew were long all the way through. You know what I'm saying?
Just
if I had
to,
to
like,
kill
keep
5
time?
minutes, I would just rap like an Eminem song that was like 4 minutes.
And how old were you at that time?
Shit, like 8, 9.
So super, super young.
Yeah, I've been like, I don't know. I just was hella into rapping.
That's interesting that you were into Eminem.
I love Eminem, bro.
Yeah.
To me, Eminem is still in my top 5 for sure.
Oh, I think he's in my top 5 too.
Like,
Well, I don't know.
there's a lot of people,
Yeah.
right, that I like and I'm influenced by, but my real top 5, I can't separate certain people out of it because they raised me on like my love for this shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't appreciate other people the same.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. It's weird. I think I could give you like a top 5, but not in order. Like it's hard to get. It's hard.
Yeah, no, I
the
could
order's
never get-
way harder.
Well, the only order I can't give an order. The reason why I can't give an order is because my top 2 or my top 1 is 2 people, and it's too hard for me to
Outcast.
like. All right, my top favorite best artists of all time is Mac Dre and Tupac. I can't choose between one.
Yeah.
Like I can't. The only reason why I can't though is because I feel like they give different vibes.
Way different. Yeah.
So that's the reason why I can't, because I feel like Mac Dre's the best at this, and I feel like Tupac was the best at that. So
it's almost like Tupac was the king of the mainstream and Mac Dre was the king of the underground.
Exactly. And it's like I love both. So it's like I can't just be like, oh, I picked this one over that one.
No, I feel that. Do you catch yourself now listening to more mainstream stuff, or you listen to a lot of like more local artists, like underground stuff, like your homies' music?
Shit, you gotta damn near pull my teeth to listen to mainstream stuff.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's considered mainstream nowadays though. So like, is Draco mainstream? Like, because like I
You know what's fucked up? I would say Draco is like mainstream now,
Now, that's what I'm
unfortunately,
saying,
as wrong as that is.
Yeah, and I feel like even
Oh, like
right
Stick
before
Team
he died
stuff?
too though. He was still kind of like mainstream and shit.
But
But honestly,
you're from LA, he's mainstream.
yeah, exactly. But to me, like, nah, like Drake just dropped. I still ain't slapped.
What'd you say?
I still ain't slapped it. Like,
Don't.
okay, I wasn't going to
Yeah.
really because I don't really listen to Drake music like that. But like,
It's awful.
but like, see, that's what everybody's saying. People saying that shit is trash. Then people were saying like, my partner Moose is like, that shit slap. Like he be just but he likes that type of music. So it's
like dance music.
Yeah,
makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So he also kind of grew up like with the R&B shit. So he loves R&B. Like he could pull an R&B song out and like you just say, "What is this?" He'll just know what the song is.
Like old classic R&B.
Yes, bro. He's the GOAT at that shit. But I feel like for me, like it's hard. Like even Kendrick's album, bro. I love Kendrick, but because I saw these weird ass reviews, like for example, it was like street dudes from LA posting videos saying like this shit's fucking trash. Like you hear this shit and you would just hear the little bit of the sample and it would be like we cry together. So it's
that
like,
song was crazy.
But that song is an introspective song that you got to be in a certain mood to hear it. So if you're riding through the city, you're not trying to hear that shit, and I get that. And right now, I'm more on like some riding through the city shit. However, like the Boy's album dropped that same day. I didn't listen to that either.
Yeah,
but
I've
fuck
heard
with the Boy. Like his music is hella clean. Feel like he's progressed one of the most out of any Bay Area artists in a long time to me. Because he started off like really in his very own unique style, and he's turned it into something else that a lot of people love. And, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me, that's all music is.
Even like out of SOB, it's interesting how Du Bois is like kind of transitioned and like made his own career, made his own identity. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Like I feel like that was a really hard thing to do. Like
definitely,
it would have been really easy for him to just quit at that point.
Exactly, but I mean, he kept pushing, and like I feel like that's the biggest part about it. Like I like that aspect of music. I like to know like, oh, you came from some shit. You know what I mean? Or you just fucked up. But like, if you're just a mainstream artist that everybody's talking about, it's like probably not gonna slap that. Yeah, you know what I mean. But Moneybagg Yo is like mainstream, right?
I don't know.
Would you consider that? I would consider that mainstream because I feel like a lot of people talk about him. Like, and
he's gotten really big.
Like when the Waukesha shit dropped. Like I never listened to Moneybagg Yo before that, but I downloaded that album and slapped it just because I was like, all right, let me see what everybody's talking about. Now I respect him. Like I fuck with his music. However, I'm just not gonna go really listen to a Moneybagg Yo song like that. Yeah, just drop like it's whatever to me.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you get yourself listen to more albums or just songs?
Probably songs now. I like listening to albums, but probably just songs. Just because I work on so much of my own shit that like I'm listening to my projects and trying to make sure my shit sounds the way I want it to. And then so I'm not really trying to listen to too much outside influence because then I'm going to be like, oh, I should have listened to my project. And it's like, that's good from like maybe a production standpoint. And you're like, I want my shit to sound this good. But other than that, it's not really like, you don't really want to like be too, at least me personally, I don't want to be too heavily influenced by anybody. I just want to keep and remain myself. Like I've always just been who I am. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, that's like a super weird give and a take. Yeah. It's like, you know, like on one hand you want to, you know, list of things to be inspired, but then it's also like you don't want to start sounding like those things without meaning to, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, but that's like, if you know me, like it's like, bro, if I just start slapping hella Lil Uzi and then I just come out with a song with hella auto-tune and doing some Lil Uzi shit, like you're gonna know like he's influenced by this. Like that's not what I make, you know what I mean? So I don't want to be too heavily like, oh, I'm overdoing it with this artist, so like I like this shit so much, so let me try to recreate this. Like sometimes I catch myself doing that.
I'm
like,
gonna say
like,
this real quick. He's got a vibe of an old school hip hop artist.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
very much so. Very much so.
And see, I'm glad you said that because that's the type of shit I listen to though. Like I don't really listen to like hella new shit. I love listening to old like rap music, bro,
with like storytelling.
And I'm
stuff.
still like, but not even just that, bro. Like honestly, I'm stuck in like fucking the early 10s. When fucking Taylor Autodice and fucking like Long Live Ace or no, is that the one? His first A$AP Rocky's first album.
Yeah, Long Live A$AP.
Yeah, like when shit like that, like bro, that shit changed like everything for me. You know what I'm saying?
I could totally see that, especially in like the storytelling and stuff in your music.
Yeah,
cause yeah, of course. Because I mean, like you hear the Bay Area influence, but you don't sound like a super traditional Bay Area artist.
Oh yeah, nah. I'm definitely influenced by Bay music though. So like, I love Bay Area music. Like, just the whole vibe that I get from it is just upbeat, happy, like
yeah, for sure.
Shit makes me want to fucking drive hella fast.
Have fun.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just the type of music that I really like. But I'm not from the Bay, so I don't want to try to take the sound too hard or go too heavy on it. But like my whole life is influenced by the Bay too. So it's like I said, bro, I'm grown up in Sac my whole life.
Yeah.
And people literally be asking me like, where you from? Like, He's from the Bay.
You know what's interesting? It's like
weird.
I've always found it kind of difficult to like distinguish like a sax sound from like a Bay Area sound. Do you think they're like really different?
No.
Because I feel like they're pretty similar.
It depends on what you mean, but no. I feel like it depends on the artist too, though.
Mm-hmm.
So like certain artists have their certain specific sounds, and I feel like now I am open to more Bay Area artists, but I'm not from here, so I don't know like the more local people that may not have 20,000 followers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know everybody that like really is like really trying to do this type of shit. So there might be some introspective or like some dope ass R&B people. I just don't know them that well. But in SAC, there's like a whole other side of SAC that really people don't talk about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there is the street rap, but there's literally a whole nother demographic in SAC like that is more so like introspective music or like a little bit more mainstream kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like just for example, my homie Igweaka. You know what I'm saying? His
That's a dope name.
Is totally different.
Yeah.
Than anybody else's in SAC. You know what I mean?
Like what kind of sound does he make? Type of stuff.
He does like a lot of live instruments more so.
Oh, that's fire.
And he raps, but he kind of like raps
out.
and sings and shit. Yeah, he's dope. Like I fuck with bro. So it's like I feel like there's totally different, you know what I'm saying, sides to SAC. For example, like rest in peace, Briz had a whole different sound even with the street music. He didn't sound like nobody else with the street stuff. And then like Igwe to me just doesn't sound like anybody else on that side. So it's like there's two totally different sides. It's just people get so caught up on one side of things and they don't think that SAC is bigger than that.
Yeah,
which it is.
And it's really interesting to think about too, because like, you know, like on one hand, like I feel like there's like there kind of is like artists that come out of SAC now, like as often as there are from the Bay. I feel like in a lot of ways. But it's funny, I was having a conversation with my brother about this the other day, right? So for the sake of this argument, let's just call like the Bay Area sound and the SAC sound like the same thing, all right? So it's like he was kind of explaining to me, he was like, yeah, I don't think anybody really makes it mainstream with like that sound anymore. And it's kind of weird because I think I agree with him, you know, like it's kind of interesting to me, like if you make like a regional sound, like let's say like SAC sound or a Bay Area sound or like a Detroit sound,
even the LA sound,
even the LA,
like LA is only so big, so if you don't make something that's like could be a global sound, they get stuck in LA too. There's a lot of artists that ain't bigger than LA and their reach goes farther than the Bay or like Phoenix.
Yeah,
like that's not really far. Talking about the world, like, you know what I mean?
Do you think there's a point where like because of the internet that could eventually like transcend borders? Because to me it's like I almost feel like there isn't, because I just feel like you're influenced by the music that's around you, you know? So if everybody around you is listening to the stuff that's from where you're from, I don't know if the internet could change that. Like I feel like the people around you are more influential than the internet.
For example, some people that I know don't necessarily like my music because I don't make the Bay Area music. No. But they understand the music that I make, and they understand that I'm more like I'm just an artist. Like I'm not trying to fit into this sound. You know what I'm saying? So yes, to a degree, it can be successful and stuff, but you're right in the sense that it'll leave you stagnated. I mean, people talk about that. For example, like in SAC, we get stagnated because we won't get behind one person and push them to another level to bring more eyes to our city. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's because we're stuck in this one sound, and then everybody wants to be the top person and blah, 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 blah. It's not really like, you know, there's more to it than just, okay, this sound is only going to get you, like you said, regional. But, okay, what's regional? Okay, I can get up to Seattle and Portland. Yeah. But that's only so much money. Like, you got to be able to reach across at least to New York. You got to be able to get played in New York.
At least, like, if you want to be global, you got to reach literally from, like, California to New York. There's, like, no way around it.
You got to be popping in Texas, Florida.
That, too.
You know what I'm saying? And
all
that's
the big
a whole different sound. See, I could make some rappy rap shit be loved out here because, you know, there's hieroglyphics, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. But in New York, they'll love it because of all the old Onyx and fucking the locks and shit like that. They'll just love the music, you know what I mean? But that's not going to necessarily get me playing in Florida where their music's going to be more party, or Houston where their shit is more like club music, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just depends on like the area, and you don't have to appeal necessarily to everybody. I just feel like if you just gravitate like, oh, what is the world like? who likes what. That's why I like talking to people at my job, because I feel like I get more of a perspective on what people like on their everyday life.
Huh. So what you ask about like music and stuff?
Yeah, depending on like I said,
the vibe of them.
Depending on how cool I get with the person, like I'll express to them like, oh, I do music or do, and then they'll like, you know, just tell me like the things that they like or whatever, and you'll be surprised it'll be an old ass white lady who's like, oh yeah, I like fucking,
I love Draco.
That would be hilarious.
Imagine.
That would be fucking hilarious. I'd be like, all right, what's up? What's your number?
Like, there's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah.
Since you're from the Sac, how do you? Because how you and I got connected, how I first became aware of you and everything was through like Chucky,
right,
and through like Strife and all them, and Strife I eat,
yeah.
and then because they're from Philly and then moved to the city.
Yeah.
So if you're from Sac and then we're going back and forth from Sac to Oakland, how did you get connected with all them?
So when I went to college, I lived in Park Merced. So San Francisco is where I was at a lot. But so I started working for the Giants. Like,
whoa.
Yeah, I worked at the dugout store for the Giants. So I was commuting from Sac to here for a while anyway. So it's kind of like normal to me. Like driving to the Bay is like second nature as hell. And I worked with Philly. Or Chucky. I called him Philly. That's hella funny. Fuck. I can't believe I called him that. At least I didn't call him Philly. But yeah, I fucking, like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's funny. Me and him barely talked when I first started working there.
Really?
Like, barely. And then just one day we just started chopping it up. And then we just got hella cool. And then I actually left working there. And then I came back to work there, and he was still working there, and that's what brought us even closer together. And then
that's on some random shit. That's crazy,
bro. Me and him met on the most random shit, and that's definitely like that's my brother, bro. It's
that's
like
fate, bro.
Like this, like one of the closest people to me. Like,
yeah,
for real. Like fuck the music shit, like fuck all the other shit. Like he's just my brother, bro. I love him. You feel me? Like he's really awesome. Close to me. So it's like I don't got no like it really is a fate shit. Like you know what I mean?
No,
even
definitely.
At first, like. To be honest, I wasn't like necessarily Strife at first. I was actually technically in another rap group, so it's like I wasn't really like I didn't know what they were trying to do at first. You know what I mean? But over time, it's just like I'm here, like I'm at everything. So I pull up to everything, so I'm always there, and I just kind of just came out, and now I'm Strife. You know what I'm saying? Strife for life. You know what I mean?
I feel like the universe has like a funny way of bringing you to people you're meant to be connected with. You know what I mean? 100%. Like that's such a random occurrence, but like, look, it changed the course of your entire life.
Yeah, no, it's hella random. Even my relationship with Moose, like Moose was a friend of a friend. Technically. So
Moose is so he's in the other group you're in, correct?
Whale Scale.
Yeah, he's in Whale Scale. So how'd you get connected with all those guys?
Those are like childhood friends type shit.
Okay, you know so they all grew up in Sac?
Yeah, but with Moose, like he was like a friend of my friends, and we started kicking it together, and then now we're just all hella close. But Moose was like one of the only other people that rapped, so there's probably like 15 of us, and at the time like only like 6 or 7 of us rapped. Actually, back then I didn't rap. I was a manager.
Really?
So yeah.
You were a managing artist?
Yeah, I manage myself. I do all my shit myself. Mix master my music.
That's super interesting. So
book my shows.
So before you made music, you wanted to work in the industry?
I've always wanted to. So like, you know when you're a kid and they ask you what do you want to be?
Yeah.
I always used to write down entertainer.
Oh wow.
That's it. I never knew what I wanted to do. I just always knew I wanted to be an entertainer. I never was like the kid like, I'm gonna be a rapper. Like, bro, fuck that. Like I kind of even question rapping now. Like sometimes I just want to do the exec shit, to be honest. Just
really?
Because like I don't really care about being in front of cameras like that, bro. To be honest, like it's cool, it's nice. Like I'm pretty decent at it, but it's like I love performing, and that's the only thing that I couldn't give up. So I'm a performance head. Okay, the booth is hella fun to me too, though, because I feel like I get to get hella shit off my chest. Yeah, and so it's like it feels like therapy to me. But like I love being on stage. Like
you perform live a lot, right?
Yeah, a ton. Not as much now because of the pandemic and shit, but like, I've done at least like 10 tours.
10 tours?
Open up for Blueface. Come on, let me know what's up.
Yeah. First tour I ever was on was with Suicide Boys.
Wow, that's crazy. So you've been on tour like a bunch of times. Yeah. That's crazy. So if you perform
that's like literally where all my followers come from.
Really?
It's because I've just been meeting people one-on-one. Like literally.
That's super interesting to me. How did you get all those opportunities?
Money.
Oh, really?
But no, it's more so like you gotta know the right people. Like you can have money too, but you gotta know the right people, and then also you gotta be good at what you do.
Yeah, of course.
Like at the end of the day, like I've definitely progressed since I first started, but like literally, you could go and do a show and think you did good, but they wasn't fucking with you.
Yeah.
And the promoter didn't like the vibe you brought to the thing. So it's like you're not gonna get the opportunities the same. People not gonna get back to you. You know what I mean? But also it's about like keeping a good rapport with people too. You know what I mean? It's relationships.
Yeah, everything in this industry is relationships.
Yeah.
And that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending
But
on how you
don't be
look at
thirsty
it.
for the relationship.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Clout is one hell of a drug,
Yeah,
man.
that shit is sick.
It's crazy.
Shit is sick.
I've seen people do some crazy shit
People
for
will
clout.
tell you that people will act crazy and then say they're not doing it for clout. Like, bro,
Yeah.
come on, bro. It's like,
Shut
come
up.
on, bro. Come on, bro.
No, clout is one hell of a drug. What do you
Shit's
think like makes a good performance? Like, what do you think is like the key to really engaging an audience? Is it like crowd control? Is it like what do you think is the biggest part of being a performer?
Me personally is energy. Depending on how high or drunk I am, but also depending on the mood that I'm in, like it'll determine my performance. Like, so I put up for D Savage in December,
At the complex, right?
and I was having a shitty ass time before I got on my set, but that was probably one of my best sets I ever did.
Just like something happened, or
Yeah, some fuck that shit was on. So, but it was like that anger, like made me just go crazy. You
wow.
feel me? So that's why it's like it depends. Like for me, it just all depends. You know what I mean? Now I get nervous before shows, but like not like how I used to. Now it's kind of just like, all right, we gotta go do this shit. Like it's time to go. Like this is what you do, bro. Come on, let's go. You know what I mean? And I'll just go and do it.
Almost like exciting yourself.
Yeah. But like at the same time, that shit is like so thrilling to me. Like,
That's pretty crazy that you said like you had a bad experience before a show and then it kind of like lit the fire. It's almost like sports. You know what I mean? Like it's funny to think about it
Yeah.
like that, but it really is almost like sports. It's like a lot of like
I definitely turned music into my sport. I used to play baseball and football, so it's like,
okay.
that's definitely where I turned that energy into, is in my music and shit. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like letting out like my emotions, because I don't rap over. Okay, I try not to rap over my songs, so it's only instrumental. So I just rap on my shit. Usually the hook is laid on there, but I just rap everything out. So when I'm just doing all that shit, I just feel like, damn, I feel like got all this energy out. Like I wanted to scream at somebody all fucking week, but I finally got to, like, now, you know what I mean?
it's just a mic. Yeah.
Yeah. But I still get that same energy and feeling out. So
I agree with you. I think energy is like easily the biggest part of a performance.
hell yeah, you can miss all your words, bro, but if you turning the fuck up,
It translates.
I love you. You know what I'm saying?
If you're sitting there and you know, I always say this. It's like even if you're not confident, you have to look confident. Like even if you're incredibly nervous, you have to look like you're not nervous.
Exactly. Like that's one thing I love about watching Chucky perform. That's why I love performing with Chucky, bro, because he has so much energy. He loves interacting with the crowd and getting in there. Like that shit hypes me up. It makes me fucking want to do better. It makes me want to just go. So it's like I love performing with him and everybody else in Stripe too. But
Shout out Chucky, shout out Strife.
He just goes crazy with that.
But that shit's absolutely vital too. You know what I mean? Like if you look like you're having a good time, everybody there is gonna have a good time. But if you look like you're miserable, no one's gonna have fun.
I opened up for a specific artist one time, and she didn't even barely fucking touch the stage.
What do you mean?
Like, she was performing like this and shit, like all shy and shit. Like it was hella weird. It was like, nigga, you're the headliner.
Yeah.
Why are you like scared? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. But clout,
That's bizarre.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. Clout's one hell of a drug.
shit's crazy.
Do you remember like the first song you ever sat down and made? Like once you got into music because of your dad? Do you remember sitting down and like writing your first song or trying?
Not really, but like one of the first memories I do have I tried to fucking be in the talent show in like 7th grade and rap. That shit was trash.
Really?
That shit was garbage, bro. Boy. But that was all confidence, though.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know the rap like that. Like, you feel me? I wasn't ready for it. Like, I just knew. I was trying to be in the talent show, and the only thing I could think of to do was to rap.
Yeah.
But that was like the first. But like, really made a song. I don't remember exactly, but I definitely was like 2011, 2012.
That's crazy. So the performance aspect really even preceded the songwriting aspect for you. It's like you really are a performer.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I said, bro. Like, my whole life, I've been doing choir shit. I've been doing solos and shit. I was acting in plays and shit. Like,
really?
With church and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I've always had to memorize lines and go and perform it.
So did you grow up super religious?
Kind of. Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
But you were doing stuff like that with the church, like plays and stuff, and like singing and stuff.
When you're a little kid, you know what I'm saying? Life is different, man.
Yeah, of course.
But once you turn like 13, shit goes crazy.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
I've always been interested in that perspective because I never like grew up religious at all. But I feel like a lot of people get like a lot out of it, and I think that's a great thing.
I feel like I got a lot out of it in the sense of maybe I don't want to do so much bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I kind of like the negative shit that I saw from it makes me like not really, as an adult, really like religion necessarily. I believe in a higher power, and I believe in other things too. But what I'm trying to say is like I don't think that some of the things that we the way we treat people as religious people, because they might not see our views, is fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
agree with
saying?
you.
So like the church I used to go to was like super. You had to be dressed up a certain way, or they would look at you a certain way. And they might not say nothing to you, but it's like the looks that you get is kind of like, damn, like I feel like I'm being judged, and you're supposed to come as you are, type shit.
I was gonna say it, which is so ironic because that's so like anti-religious.
Exactly. That's why it's like for me, I've had a lot of. I don't know. It's been hard. You know what I mean? But that's a personal thing. I think that everybody should find what they believe in. You know what I'm saying? If they don't believe in anything, believe in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just find something to believe in.
I agree with you, and I don't even think what you believe in has to be religious. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
it doesn't.
just believe in something. Believe in yourself. Believe in the higher power. Believe in the universe. Believe in people.
Believe in nothingness.
Yeah.
Believe that this doesn't mean shit.
You know, it's interesting. Like, I've talked to a lot of people who have that perspective that, like, nothing matters, and because nothing matters, anything can matter. I think about that a lot. Wow. It's almost like because, you know, if you go into everything and you're like, you know, I don't really care about this, you almost then can care about the things that you want to because everything else means nothing to you.
Right. Wow. You know, I never really thought about it like in that way. I feel like I just go for more so like the perspective of sometimes like none of this shit matters at all. And then so it's like if shit goes bad or shit goes good, it doesn't matter.
Fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, that's how more so like fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Just keep doing stuff that you find fun.
Because I feel like life is going to be shitty. Life is going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Life is a balance. You know what I mean?
Like you said, the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got 3 full albums out, or like 3 tapes at least.
I got 3 on all platforms. Yeah.
On all platforms. Yeah. Well, yeah, I imagine you got a whole bunch of other stuff.
I got 3 EPs. They're just in the little single section.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, but a lot of music.
Yeah, hella music.
So putting out projects like that, what do you think is like the biggest thing you've learned from your first project to like where you are now? Like, what do you think is the biggest improvement you made?
My first project, not the one that's on streaming, but the first project I ever put out had 29 songs on it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I've learned how to cut down songs.
Yeah.
That's the main shit. Also, just try to make stuff more digestible. So if there's stuff that I want to talk about, maybe break it up into a couple songs instead of putting it all in one. You know what I'm saying? I've learned how to maybe sync the songs a little bit better. Not try to put shit that sounds completely different on the same project. You know, things like that. But honestly, over time, like my biggest thing is just wanting to keep doing them more and more. I feel like I don't have enough. Like you said 3, and then making it seem like it's a lot of music, but I feel like it's a shame I don't have 10. You know what I'm saying?
So are you in the studio or like just working, making songs constantly?
Like, my house is like my room is literally a studio.
So you do most of your stuff from home?
Yeah. I literally every song you've ever heard by me, I've mixed it and mastered it.
Wow, where do you get beats? Did you just buy them or
Different people.
Yeah.
Buy them off people. I used to steal them off YouTube. But
That's crazy. So do you think you bust out like multiple songs every single day, pretty much, or?
Do you know? Not every day.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't even record music. I don't even think about like I don't write music every day. I feel like that is something that you shouldn't do because that's gonna stress you out. I feel like there's a very heavy, but that's because I've also been doing this for a really long time. So maybe that's just because I feel it would be like too much for me to just every moment I can to just write. Because that's all I used to do. It's just you would just see me typing on my phone all day with headphones in. But it's like, nah, I just gotta go live life, bro, and experience things. And then like as shit keeps going good or bad or whatever, I'd end up putting that shit in the songs.
No, 100%. Because you have to have that's actually interesting too. Because you have to have like experiences to write about. So you have to go out and live every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like if you're just cooped up in the studio all day doing nothing but writing, like what are you going to write about?
That's why, like, for example, I normally drop a project like every year, right? I haven't dropped it since 2020 because, well, the pandemic, bro. I ain't been able to really experience life like that. And I've just been going through hella shit. And it's like, now that I'm back outside, now that I've experienced stuff, there's songs that I made like over a year ago that'll be on the project. But it's just like, it's not really like, but now that I've been outside more, bro, for example, yesterday I was in the studio with D Dilla and I made like 4 songs.
Wow, in one day.
So it's like, some of them I like had ready already, but one of them I had to write the whole verse for it. The other one I just did the song like right there. He cooked up the beat and shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it just depends on the mood that I'm in. Like sometimes if I just hear a beat and I'm going through somebody's beats and the beat just hits me, bro, I'm probably gonna be done with the song in 15 minutes. Yeah. Just because I'm feeling it. It's just that feeling right then and there. But like I can't sit down and be like, all right, this beat is cool. I'm gonna sit and write to this. Like, nah, I can't do that no more, bro. I gotta feel it. Like for real.
That makes sense.
If not, it's just gonna be a dead air on the beat for a long time for me.
Well, I was gonna say it probably makes the music come out more natural that way.
Yeah.
It's hard to write stuff to music you're not inspired. You know what I mean?
No. It's like, it's like me trying to get on some dancehall shit. Like I don't really listen to dancehall, so what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? But if a dope ass Bay Area beat come on, I'm definitely probably about to rip that motherfucker up. Even if it's not like a song, I'm just gassing on it. Like it just comes to me naturally. Like it's just what I feel.
Do you feel like every single song you write has to have like a very clear topic, like something very specific, or can it just be turn up?
No. The reason why is because I used to spend a lot of days doing that, and I still struggle with what's the topic of this song. Yeah, that's some bullshit, bro. Just make a song. Like just make it about whatever. Now, if you're gonna make a song about something, you should stick to what that song is about. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna make a song about girls, you don't want to start talking about cars. You know what I'm saying? That's not what the song is about. You know what I mean? But it really, like you were talking about feeling. Like for me, I only make music that I feel. Like my shit is literally like a venting session in a sense.
That's interesting. Like when you're in the, because I ask a lot of people this, but I'd be interested to ask you, when you're in the studio or you're working or whatever, and you're with and you're with people or whatever, is it ever hard for you to like be vulnerable and be honest about your experiences while you're on the mic if you have like other people in the room, or are you somebody who records mostly by themselves anyway?
I record by myself.
Pretty much always.
Just because I do my own shit, I record by myself. However, over time, I've been able to record in front of more people, but I don't like recording in front of more than maybe 3 to 4 people. Like when it's like the typical rapper studio, like
too distracting, huh?
Nah, it's like nerve wracking, cause it's like I don't want yes men, but I also don't want judgmental ass people in there either. So it's like, even if I'm making a trash song, telling me that it's trash is only gonna make me be like, all right, I'm not gonna record no more today. Yeah, cause I'm like unmotivated. I'm like, fuck, this nigga doesn't like this shit, bro. I'm making shitty ass music. What the fuck am I doing? Cause
even if it's trash and you put it out, you learn something from that.
Right.
You learn that when it doesn't do the numbers you thought it was gonna do, you learn that this is what you want to be putting out.
Every song I've ever dropped was a lesson. Yeah. At the end of the day, even if it was a good lesson or a bad lesson, it was still a lesson at the end of the day.
What like part of writing a song do you think you've like? What is still the hardest thing that you struggle with in terms of writing a song?
Finishing verses.
Really?
After like
the endings of them.
Yeah. Like literally the last like 4 or 5 6 bars probably. Because I usually write long verses, so I write like 16s at least normally. Unless the beat is just hella short, you know what I mean? But I don't even like rapping on. If I'm gonna rap on the song, I want to be able to rap for a long time. My hooks will be hella shorter than the song will be. But yeah, the end of the bars is probably the most difficult part for me.
That's probably so much of what gives your music that old school feel, because a lot of like old school songs, especially old school hip hop songs, they had those longer verses.
Yeah, for sure.
Where they're really talking and venting on something, and the hook is maybe a couple words and it's pretty short.
I actually get hella disappointed when certain songs have only a 16.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this person was just going in. He needed at least a 24. Like, for real. Like,
yeah,
I feel like he was supposed to go crazy at this part right here. But also, I like Eminem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of my favorite rappers. And, like, all he doing is shoving hella words into a small-ass space. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's just part of, like, what I like rapping off beat and shit.
That's literally, like, what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was, like, what his whole thing was just putting as many words as possible into a short amount of time.
And saying the craziest shit possible.
Yeah, literally. Do you struggle with hooks at all or anything? Or, like, is that part easier for you?
I'm like a goat at hooks, I feel like. Hooks is, like, some shit that comes to me so naturally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with your boy if you need a hook. Yeah, but for real, though, like, I love hooks. Like, I feel like that's the easiest thing I could do. You know how many songs I just got a hook on?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a hook. It's been sitting there for, like, 2-3 years. It's like this hook goes crazy, but it's like I can't think of no verses to this.
Yeah.
Or I'm not even in this mood no more to make a song like this. So it's like I wish I would have made this song when I was feeling it and just put it out and didn't think so much about it.
That's an interesting thing too, because like let's say like you had something hella shitty happen to you, you go home and you're like, all right, fuck this, I'm gonna write a song about it. It's hard to like start that song and then come back to it when you're not in that mood. You know what I mean?
So I got this song on my new project. It's called Therapy Part 2, right? I wrote that song when I was hella fucking, like, just going through it. And I probably had a little over half of it done for, like, probably, like, 2-3 months. And it was, like, I wasn't feeling that shitty. So it's, like, I can't even listen to the song. You know what I'm saying? Because the song is, like, some shit that I was going through. I'm not trying to think about that right now. You know what I mean? But until I started feeling like more down is when I revisited it and I finished it. It really just kind of completed itself. Like it was like a real therapy session for me. So.
That's what's kind of messed up about that too, because it's like the curse of making music about your struggle is that like when the music that you make about your struggle becomes what you're known for, then it's almost like you have to actively struggle and actively have terrible things happen to you to make music about it.
So like, for example, I feel like I have to go through shit, bro, to make music. Like, when I feel like I exhausted all my shit out, I have to go experience life. I have to go do something. I gotta call this nigga to go do donuts or something so I can get some experience. Like, for real. I gotta go fucking be hella toxic to a girl. So like, bro, everything is, like, really hella, like, it hits me a certain type of way. You know what I mean? And I have to be able to, like, express out all my emotions about certain things. And I have to be able to feel it for real. Like, I can't just be, like, looking at his life and being like, oh, I'm going to write about his life.
It's
I don't know
yours.
how he really feels. I just know how he feels like when he's going through it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like to talk about my shit.
It's kind of similar to like how like some artists can only create when they're using substances. And that's kind of sad. You know what I mean? Like, because then it's like at first you start using these substances and it's like, oh, this is a tool. This helps me. This makes it easier. Yada, yada, yada.
That's the biggest mistake anyway.
Exactly. Because then you become, you get into the state where like, oh, I can only create when I'm under a substance. And that's addiction.
Yeah, no. I smoke a lot of weed. I be drinking, sip syrup sometimes and shit. But like, that is not finna make me break me as an artist. Like, I'll make a song sober as shit. Actually, that's damn near probably the best time for me to rap is when I wake up in the morning.
That's good,
I got hella shit on my mind. Like, that's why I wish I had, like, a closer, like, realer studio. Like, I wish, like, for example, like, working with D Dilla, like, I felt like this shit was a dope-ass vibe. So I wish he was a little bit closer so I could just be, like, on some wake-up shit and go over to the studio. Like, because then I'll be able to get all my fresh thoughts off.
Like, immediately just wake up and go to the studio.
Exactly. But sometimes, you know, when you're thinking about other shit throughout the day, like, then you're just going to only work about that day in the studio. You're not going to think about maybe some shit that's been bothering you or some shit that you want to get off your chest. You're just going to be like, oh, this shit slaps. Let's just, you know, rap about all the shit we've been going through today.
That's like literally a venting process. It's like
Yeah.
you wake up and you whatever you slept on, you just get out.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And just let that shit out. So.
Of course. Last thing I really want to ask you, if there was like one message that you wanted to spread as an artist, with just through all your music, everything you put out, spread one message you spread to people who listen to your music, what do you think it would be?
Don't be afraid to be yourself. I think that's the whole point of this. Like, my name is my name, bro. Like, I'm Darin Steele. That's what it says on my name tag at work. Feel me? I'm not gonna ever change who I am for somebody else to make you like me more. And I feel like more people in life should learn how to be like that. That doesn't mean that you need to be an asshole to somebody because they don't like you or because you're different than them. But if you're gonna do anything, entertainment, music, whatever, just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be like the next person. I think that's the biggest thing. Just
That's
be
beautiful.
who you are. Like, bro, I could try to be all these different people or try to be influenced by all this other shit, but what is that gonna get me in the long run? Somebody's just gonna expose me for being fake. Like, what the fuck? Like that? No, let me just be myself, and who fucks with me. If you don't, you don't. But I'm gonna rock with these people that fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna worry about y'all.
I feel the same way.
Y'all supposed to hate.
Yeah.
Fuck it. If y'all hating, cool. All right, we gonna be over here though. Party over here. You know what I mean?
And don't change yourself to fit the
Party
needs of
over
other
here,
people.
Fuck you over there. Yeah, for real.
Exactly. Darin, appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you, bro. That was a
bro.
great conversation. I
Hell
enjoyed
yeah.
that.
Appreciate that, bro.
Of course. Tell them where they can find you, listen to your music, follow you on Instagram, all your stuff.
You can find me anywhere, any platform, you know. Darin Steele, DARINSTEELE. You can find me anywhere. Look me up, man. Check it out.
Fuck yeah, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah, bro.
All right. Music matters.
Yep.